giant?
Hogarth, you stay. I go. No following.
I love you. Choose to be.
I don't have friends. I have Iron Giants. This is Iron Giant spoilers.
Wow.
This is spoiler. Destination 2165. Well, it's 2100.
Hey everybody, welcome to a Patreon requested episode of Spoilers, animated spoilers, Brad Bird, 2 movie club, I think spoilers, 3 movie club, with Incredibles 2. But we're here to spoil his first movie, Iron Giant, as requested by Brett, I'm sure one of your favorite patrons, Jimmy the Cricket.
Yeah, one of my own creations, basically. I mean...
Weren't you just making fun of me?
Yeah. I mean, you made it up. I just made it into a...
No, you made it up. Take credit where it's due. It's fine.
We co-created it.
Well done. Pappy, I wrote a different spoiler intro. I forgot to give it to you.
Yeah, what you got?
This is Iron Giant spoilers and all that implies.
Ooh, that's a good one. I had something about like trying to workshop like Conan O'Brien comes in as the FBI or something because it kind of looks like him.
No, it doesn't.
A little bit. Your red hair? Similar?
Sure, McGavin.
Anyway, Jimmy the Cricket, Brett, your favorite, did not get back to me when I asked him what his opening question was. Probably because we last corresponded with him 6 months ago when he requested this movie. But we're finally doing it. So, Jimmy, once you hear this, let us know what you want an opening question to be. And we'll do that on a different episode of Spoilers. But I reached out to another friend of Spoilers, Jack Story, on Instagram. And his question was, what is your favorite movie robot? We'll go west to east. Mikey, you have a favorite movie robot?
Yeah, Mikey, recording from Chicago, Illinois. I did a quick Google search, and the first comment on Reddit I really resonated with. It's Bishop from Aliens. I thought that was a great choice.
Right at that.
Yeah. I didn't want to... I don't know. I think androids are much more interesting characters than just a metal man, metal humanoid robot. But Josh also mentioned K2SO from Rogue One earlier before we started, and I think that's an awesome design for a robot. So,
well, I speculated that might be Stevie's favorite because he loves that movie so much. Moulin Rouge 1 is what he calls it.
You watched Andor yet, Josh?
I listened to the pod. Great pod, guys.
It's a good choice, Mikey. And yeah, there's a lot of options once you started throwing like androids, replicants, Terminators. Could go in a lot of different directions. This is... Am I the next Weestis? Or Josh, you're probably next Weestis.
Sure, I'll go. I got a little twofer bread action for you all. I agree with Mikey wholeheartedly. I like the android thing, and I think like the sneakier and closer to humans they are, like the weirder and creepier and more interesting it gets. So in that vein, the robots from Westworld, I don't want to give it away for people who haven't seen it, you know, like spoilers and stuff. So there's some really sneaky ones in there. And then also Battlestar Galactica has like the Cylons who are impersonating people all the time. And so it kind of gets your nerves on end that, you know, the Uncanny Valley thing, when robots impersonate humans so closely that kind of the whole point is if you can tell if they're human or not, or if they have a soul or not. Maybe we'll get into more of those soul questions later, Pappy, but is that a good enough answer? 2 TV shows with kind of similar android spying as humans themes, I think.
Yeah. No, that's good. I'm going to go something similar. Pappy from Goshen, Indiana. I also had to Google because this was sprung upon us in a last-minute desperation that we're grateful to have from Jack. But the android from Ex Machina?
Ex Machina?
That movie? Yes. We like her a lot. I thought she was very interesting and like way ahead of its time now, especially with some of the AI stuff.
Sex boss.
ScarJo and her, kind of an outside choice. But I got to go with the T-1000 from T2. So cool. One of my favorite movie robots of all time. The liquid form.
T-2000.
His ability to stab people.
T-1000.
Okay.
Yeah. I get confused on the Terminator models, especially in the later movies. They all kind of blend together.
T-100.
The T-1000 preluded the Andre 3000?
Correct.
Is that how... Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Also a good robot, Andre 3000. And Josh, I wanted to mention, do you remember the jive-talking robot from Ice Pirates? The really racist one? Do you remember that?
I thought we agreed to never speak of this again.
That's just one to consider. But last and not least, Brett the dad, back on the pod.
Yes, I'm the first dad. I'm the first dad on this pod.
Favorite robot?
All right, so I'll just do a double as well. One's more of a joke answer, and one's... So I love T-800, the model T-101, Terminator, the original OG Terminator. I love him in the Terminator 1, and I love him in Terminator 2. Terminator 3, he says talk to the hand. That's a little tough. But he's okay in that one as well. And then my last answer is he's not really a robot, but he's on this list of top 25 best pop culture robots. And I got to go with the Osmo 4000. He's
nice.
He's not a pleasure bot. Weak. Lame.
That's a little bit of a tricky answer because he's definitely not a robot, but I love it, Brett. Love the reference.
Greetings, I am the Osmo 4000. Whoa. I have been sent from Japan to serve as your personal robot.
You're my robot?
Yes, I will be your new best friend.
Oh, wow!
But yeah, that's all I got.
Can I give a spoiler for spoiler's sake?
Mm-hmm.
How old do you think that episode is, Brett? 15, 20 years?
Yeah, I gotta think it's pretty freaking old. 2008, I think. It's season 10. Season 8.
It's one of those classic episodes where they take something to the nth of the nth degree, and literally Cartman has the entire world convinced that he's a sentient robot. And the reason that they all figure out that he's not at the end, despite all the other evidence, is that he leaks out a quick little toot fart.
Yeah, everything else he does, they don't notice, but when he farts, they're like, hey, robots don't fart. Also, he literally comes up with like 3,000 movies. Like, yeah, you have like Adam Sandler, and like he's remember he's got all those Adam Sandler movies.
It's Adam Sandler, and he's got like a walnut that tells him the future or something.
Yep, that's the one.
Gentlemen, this little boy was kind enough to let us show you his robot, the Osmo 4000. I've already seen what it can do. Excuse me, sir, but that's not a robot. It's not? No, it clearly has bipedal movement, so the correct term is computerized automatron.
Oh, very nice, Mitch. You are the smart one. Well, regardless, I believe maybe this automatron can help us come up with new movie ideas.
How can a robot come up with better ideas for movies than us?
Watch this. Osmo, given the current trends of the movie-going public, can you come up with an idea for a movie that will break 100 million box office?
Okay, how about this? Adam Sandler is like in love with some girl, but then it turns out that the girl is actually a golden retriever or something.
Oh, perfect!
We'll call it Puppy Love.
Give us another movie idea, Osmo!
Yeah!
Let's hear it!
Yeah, we want to hear it!
Okay, how about this? Adam Sandler inherits like $1 billion, but first he has to like become a boxer or something.
Yes, it's flawless!
Punch drunk billionaire.
We could go with Mecha Streisand.
That's a good one.
In terms of South Park robots. I also, speaking of South Park, I found the subgenre of YouTube video that you guys might like. It's like, the title is always 3 hours of South Park facts to fall asleep to, or something like that. And it does the trick. It's pretty good. I was listening to a bunch of like Scott Tenorman making of facts the other day. But we're not here to talk about that animated show. We're here to talk about the animated, dare I say, classic Iron Giant. And Brett, I want to come to you. I know you're into like movie history and like movie rankings and stuff. Brad Bird's 3-movie run of Iron Giant, Incredibles, and Ratatouille is pretty far fucking up there. Like, is that one of the best 3-movie runs of all time?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. I mean, I'd actually never seen this movie until last night. So
what?
Oh wow!
But yeah, I mean, Incredibles is a movie that, even though I think Dash is like the most annoying character in the history of the world, I still like both of those movies. And obviously Ratatouille, I didn't watch until this pod. But yeah, it's up there. I mean, especially if you go by critical, like Iron Giant's now apparently in the IMDb top 250. I got to think maybe the other two are as well. I don't know. I know they're both like critical darlings. This was a bomb though. But the other two, I'm sure, were not bombs.
See, that's crazy to me that you had never seen it before.
It's my time.
This lived on like Cartoon Network when I was a kid, which makes sense. It was a Warner Brothers animated movie, WB on Cartoon Network. But I distinctly remember a 24-hour marathon that happened in 2002, where they just showed the Iron Giant for a day straight and watching it at least 2 or 3 times.
To be fair, though, when this movie came out, I was 15 or so, and in 2002, I was either graduating from high school or in college, so it was a little past my time. But, you know, it's not like I didn't watch movies like that, but yeah. Very, very cool.
We don't have Stevie, but I feel like he would have appreciated this. Brad Bird studied under Milt Kahl, one of the 9 Old Men. Like, he basically was 14 years old, sent in a videotape to Disney, did like an internship there under the 9 Old Men, ended up going there after college, got fired by Disney, and then like kind of got like this like moonshot lucky like adaptation. Like, he had a story he wanted to tell. Warner Brothers Animation said no. And then they're like, hey, but we have this other musical with Pete Townsend called The Iron Giant based on this book. And he totally like reworked the story into the animated classic that it is today. But Josh, let's start with some of the characters. One of the worst names in animated movie history. Who's Hogarth? What's his life like? When and where are we?
You really hate Hogarth that much?
It's a dumb name.
It's terrible.
At least it's creative. I
think that's why it flopped, honestly. Hogarth and not naming the giant.
Is it a real name?
I think it flopped because it came out the same weekend as Sixth Sense.
I don't think there's that much overlap in the Sixth Sense and Iron Giant, though.
Both kids' movies.
Well, Hogarth is the son of a single mother. It's Jennifer Aniston. And he is kind of like is this the right term? Latchkey kid. She's working a lot of days and nights, so when he comes home, he just kind of does his own thing a lot.
That's exactly what it is, Josh.
It's a lot
Latchkey
of 80s.
kid or child.
Yeah, a lot of 80s and 90s kids had that experience, like a lot of unsupervised time because there's no one else really watching you at the house. So he has a lot of freedom, I guess is what I'm saying there, Pap. And I guess one question I have for you before we go further into characters is the setting is a little bit confusing to me because on one hand, his mom, Jennifer Aniston, works at this like really busy diner, but on the other hand, there's just this massive forest that can hide like a Godzilla-sized metal giant, and there's like just a lot of walking trails. Like, do you know what state this might be in, Pappy?
I believe it's Maine, based
yes,
on
Rockwell, Maine. So are they
where you first see the giant?
Are they trespassing into Canada? I gotta assume at some points here.
Maybe.
Okay.
We almost dropped a nuke on Canada in this movie. It's one of those too close to call moments. Mikey, can you tell us about when we first meet the giant, like the very opening scene?
Yeah, it's very Pacific Rim-esque. There's a fisherman out on a boat, and he's kind of lost his way, so he's calling into the lighthouse or a port or something. And he thinks he sees the light of the lighthouse, but it's actually the two big eyes of the Iron Giant.
That was really cool looking.
Yeah, it's a really cool scene. He crashes into the Iron Giant, but I guess it's implied that he picks him up and takes him right to the lighthouse.
This is the trawler, Annabelle. I've lost my bearings and I'm taking on water. My last good reading is 44 degrees north, 68
Portland Station to Annabelle. What is your current position?
I don't know exactly, Portland. Off the coast somewhere near Rockwell. Wait, the lighthouse. I see it.
One of my favorite parts of animation is like character design. And this like old sailor man is such a crusty, creepy looking dude. Like it's so, I don't know. Like he's clearly not a Disney character, right? Like it looks more like a Ralph Bakshi type character almost, with his messed up teeth and his like saggy face.
Yeah, there's some weird animation stuff in his face, particularly to make him look more ugly and make him look like his eyes are like battered.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
I found this interesting. I'm going to keep coming back to this documentary that I watched, which I actually don't have the name in front of me, but if you search like Iron Giant making of on YouTube, it was a DVD extra documentary.
Is Sting in it?
No, unfortunately, no. Nor is Sting's wife. But Brad Bird behind the scenes was very interesting to see because I didn't know a lot about him. And one of the first things we see is him like just swearing his mind off in this documentary, just like talking like a sailor, just like saying like fuck this and like we're not fucking Disney and we're fucking Warner Brothers and like we're fucking Warner Brothers, like saying it like that, you know what I mean? Like, and trying to hype him up, and like he's clearly bitter that he got fired by Disney, and like he tried to make something that's like not a Disney movie in any way. And like I guess all that to say, Josh, like do you appreciate this isn't a musical, like as we go through this, like as it was originally intended to be? Because it could have easily been with the 50s, right? Like the rock and roll setting, Cold War that we were talking about.
I don't really love musicals, so I don't know if I'm like the best person to toss this to, but like if there would have been like 2 or 3 musical numbers, this movie might have crossed the 90-minute mark. And if you like this movie, you'd appreciate a little more content, I guess, because it's such a short movie. It's like 124 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, Pappy. I wasn't missing music, to answer your question.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, you could tell that Dean, played by Harry Connick Jr., was probably going to be like the rock and roll dude. You know what I mean? Like he would have had like a guitar and had a band, but instead like they remake him as what, Brett? How would you describe Dean?
Well, first of all, he reminds me of what it doesn't matter. A character from
what?
It's Spider-Man, one with the gut, the animated one. I'm drawing such a blank. Jake Johnson. He's
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, Into Spider-Verse. He's like the main guy who tries to mentor Miles Morales. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Peter B. Parker.
Peter B. Yeah, he's got the gut, and he's like he doesn't really want to be Spider-Man anymore.
He's got that squared, super square jaw.
Just
too.
really,
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
But yeah, he's I like right when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this guy does not fit in this movie. And then the more you find out about him, he's from what they call the Beat Generation. You know, they're more into like art and literature and stuff like that, which was becoming more popular, and not in this town apparently.
He's straight up called a beatnik by Shooter McGavin later.
Yeah, and
Jack Kerouac over
I actually read that phrase wasn't really invented till a few years later, but who cares?
But don't you think would you describe a beatnik as almost like a hippie precursor? Like think of like Bob Dylan or something. Like
that's what I thought, but then I searched beatnik, and the pictures they show are all like super nerdy bald guys. So maybe not.
I think like 50s college, still counterculture dude, but like Jack Kerouac or Allen Ginsberg or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
Jack's the classic one, quintessential.
But yeah, so he just kind of has a different. He almost seems black and white to me. Like I don't know why. It's hard to explain.
He does kind of. Yeah.
But he's a lot more sympathetic. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow that's pretty coolly animated. He's very sensitive to the kid, and he backs up the old what is it, Marv? What's his name? Earl. He backs up Earl, even though he didn't really see it, but he doesn't want him to feel like an idiot. So he's got a good heart,
right? Like, because that's like the first thing we see of him, and he could be like the bad boy character, or I don't know. I feel like more commonly he would be apathetic to the plight of other people, and then like would then learn to be nice. But he's just nice the whole time.
Yeah,
he's just a good guy.
Yeah, I mean he's like a grumpy guy. He doesn't really want to be bothered at the same time. So he's kind of a cool dichotomy. Like he doesn't live in town. He likes to be out in a pit of metal, like his friends are the art he makes and crap like that. So he does have a good heart, and he takes to the kid. But when the kid's like, "Can a giant say?" You're now having a giant as a guest doesn't necessarily mean you don't like people. Nobody really wants a iron giant that could kill you as your guest. But he's a really cool character, and he's the one that notices later that, hey, this is a defensive robot. He's not trying to hurt you. So he's a really cool character.
Dean McCoppin is given major Luigi Mangione vibes. He's got a handsome face. He's willing to get his hands a little dirty.
Dude, that's funny that you say that. I'm looking at the voice actor for Hogarth. That's a Luigi Mangione face.
He is too.
Guys,
Yeah.
so nobody.
We're all him.
Obviously, nobody responded, but so nobody watched American Pie or American Pie 2.
What?
That's Stifler's brother, the little kid who jumps on the base like a turd.
He's all of us. Is he someone that we can start talking about on this pod, or is that too much of like a pop culture reference?
Who? Luigi or Stifler's brother?
Yes. Which
I don't think Luigi's a pop culture reference, so I'm going to say no on that one, but you do whatever you want.
An unidentified flying object?
Unidentified? Well, knowing you, Earl, I'd say it was either whiskey or beer.
Hey, I saw it too.
I rest my case.
I believe you. What if it is Sputnik? Or a flying saucer from Mars? I bet we could find it.
Sorry, kid. I didn't really see anything. But if we don't stick up for the kooks, who will?
Is my son bothering you, sir?
Yes. No. Call me Dean.
Hogarth, you were going to get your pet, honey?
I will, Mom. Right after I finish talking with
Dean.
I will say on Dean, two things. One, a lot of these names are like kind of on the nose a little bit, like maybe like Kent for like Clark Kent, and like Kent Mansley is his name, like Kent Manley or whatever. Like Dean is probably like James Dean, like cool 50s guy. Yeah. That's probably like where he got that. Hogarth is named after the writer of the novel, like who is Hughes?
I think it was Hughes, yeah.
Yeah, Hogarth Hughes. But the other thing is, this movie feels very much about a parent remarrying and like dating too, which obviously happens in the movie. And I think there's like some like direct shots of like later where we see Kent like at the breakfast table. That's supposed to be like Hogarth experiencing what that would be like and maybe not liking mom's boyfriend. And
well, it's explained that they're renting a room, so it's a little different.
No, but I think just like the fact that she's single.
Yes.
And like,
well,
What is the Iron Giant other than like this giant masculine?
Well,
like,
that's what I was going to say.
Protector. Yeah.
I don't think she was sleeping with Shooter McGavin.
No.
She didn't fuck Lumberg necessarily, but like I do get vibes that like the Iron Giant is like this idea of
perfect man,
the father figure that he lost, or he has to let. I don't know. There's something deeper there that it touches on. I agree with you, Pappy. I'm not smart enough to know what it is. I don't know where to go with that.
His dad's a hero. His dad was I don't know if it's a hero, but he was a pilot in like the Air Force or whatever. So
he might be a guy to take out a missile, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that sounds good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could give you a view from above the trees. That actually explains a lot because Hogarth spends a lot of his time with the Iron Giant just being put in his hand and like slung around as if he were in some sort of spacecraft or fair ride or something.
Yeah.
Well, and like what happens at the end of the movie, like Dean gets with Rachel from Friends, right? Like that's like the whole like thing too. Like, and apparently the book was written as a reassurance to the children
to cheer them up, yeah.
After their mom committed suicide, that Hughes.
Their very, very famous mom.
Wait, who's the mom?
Sylvia Plath.
Wait, really?
Oh,
yeah.
I think I knew that.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
What is that? The yellow. Gosh, what did she write?
Is she Beljar?
Yeah.
Very famous feminist.
I had to read that in junior high. A little early.
What did you learn from it, Josh?
Pimps do not commit suicide or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I love that. That's good.
I do think that book ends with her character like just walking out into the ocean, purportedly committing suicide by just walking out forever as far as she can.
Well, apparently, like Brad Bird connected with it because this is gonna be sad. But like his sister died, in like a murder suicide, and like that's what kind of drew him to the origin of the story, and like kind of like the anti-gun violence message that comes in later, which this has a lot of like themes and messages going into it. But Mike, let's touch on something a little bit nicer. Hogarth and the Iron Giant come face to face. What's that like?
Yeah. It's I don't remember. I can't. I'm sorry. I watched this like yesterday. I can't remember how they meet. It's.
Can I take this moment of not remembering to just segue back? The book I was talking about is called The Awakening by Kate Chopin. The Bell Jar is that book where I think she's like dying in a room of a fever and like looking at the wallpaper and shit. I might still be wrong.
I haven't read either of those books or heard of them.
Me either. Man, she was freaking 30. Sylvia Plath was.
How did they meet?
I don't know.
Save that for Brett's Death Corner.
Oh, wait. Yeah, they meet at the...
Yep, I do have a list too, by the way.
Yeah, the power goes out at Hogarth's house, and he goes to investigate, and he runs into him at just a power plant in the middle of the woods. And he's like super terrifying looking because he's like chomping on metal and electricity. But when he's chomping on this power generator thing, he electrocutes himself because I guess he can't handle electricity like that. And kind of stumbles and resets himself. He kind of loses power, and Hogarth kind of crawls on his head.
He thought he was grabbing for a glass of water. Turns out it was Baja Blast, and his servers just couldn't handle it. He gets
Bro thought
zapped.
it was King Kong from King Kong vs.
that is
Godzilla.
King
Dude.
Kong shit.
Man, I wish Stevie were here. But I guess, Brett, do you have any theories on the Iron Giant? It actually reminded me of you because your first pod was Castle in the Sky.
Which also reminded me, this movie also brought me back to there for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's like the same shit. It's like alien life takes the form of like an autonomous, almost like steampunk looking robot, right? And like the design done by Joe Johnston, who did like Star Wars stuff, looks very much like the robots in Castle in the Sky. Put on your Stevie hat, Brett. Where do you think these robots come from?
Well, see, actually, afterwards, I was confused and I had no idea. I thought they would tell you just by doing a little bit of research before the pod, I saw something that said they're an alien from another planet that, I guess in a deleted scene, they talk about, or you get to see that there were other Iron Giants, but like I think in the final story, like, or maybe in the commentary, he's like the last of a dying breed and like their planet was destroyed or something. So I think he's just, but do not quote me on that.
I like that though.
It's just one of the best parts of the movie. The fact that there's flashbacks and you know there's like another whole story, an epic thing that this like Iron Giant went through, but they don't bother to explain it fully. That's the kind of stuff I like in movies. We always talk about trusting your audience and like we get it. And maybe someday you could delve into that, but right now that's just his that's like his core server's memory just like giving him like shivers in the night or something. It's not really important to this plot.
Can I actually read what I found real quick?
Yeah. Okay,
so one of the questions of FAQ on IMDb is, are there other Iron Giants beside the one featured in the movie? And it says, yes, and in a deleted storyboard scene, hints that the Iron Giant isn't the only one of its kind. When the giant starts to sleep, his dream is transmitted to Dean's TV, which shows brief footage of other Iron Giants. However, in the signature edition released in 2015, it is implied that the Iron Giant is the last of his kind, his planet having been destroyed by the war for which he was presumably created. Which do you like more?
I don't know. I like my own thing where it's like, this is an alien race's like, I don't know, kind of probe. You know what I mean?
Plus Superman.
Like, yeah, like organic life couldn't travel this far, but like an AI bot could. And it's almost like his nature is very childish.
Yeah.
Right? Like, which maybe doesn't quite line up with like, he's this allegory for his father. Because like in many ways, he's just like this big baby. Right? Like I think Hogarth even calls him like a big baby.
Come on in! The water's great!
No, thanks.
You weenie! Come on in! It's really, really refreshing. What? You too? You big baby!
Mikey, like, what's he like to do? What do they do, like, just generally, the hangout phase of this movie? What happens?
Yeah, well, we learned that Hogarth doesn't really have any friends or anything. He was moved up a grade, I think, because his mom wanted him to feel challenged or something like that, and he isn't really fitting in. So he's just doing all the things he would do if he had normal kids his own age as friends. They're going swimming in the lake. They're hanging out in the woods. Hogarth is just like riding on this guy's shoulder, seeing over the tops of trees and stuff. They're running around. I mean, he has a really funny scene where he's like, "I'm the luckiest kid in America."
Yeah,
because he has a whole robot to himself. It's really funny.
We have to linger on one of those scenes in there, though. Brett, the quarry scene with the Iron Giant is just like the quarries in Bloomington. A lot of us, all of us on the pod tonight went to IU Bloomington. I don't know how many of you went to the quarries themselves, but they're the famous quarries. They show up in the movie
Breaking Away.
Yeah, the movie about cycling, Breaking Away, the Little Five and everything, and they go to the quarries. We went to the quarries. Several of us jumped off like the top one. It really brought me right back to that moment. Like, how many states can have quarries like this? Like, I don't think Maine has these quarries. I think they just have lakes.
They stole it from us. Best friend Drew, actually, I think, him and Eric Lemon, Drew, Josh, did you jump from the really tall one? I obviously didn't because I'm terrified of heights, but
yes, I
Drew,
did.
Drew said, right before he hit the ground, he put his arm out just a little bit, and his shoulder, I think, shoulder or elbows might still be jacked up to this day. And I think Eric, he did it as well. And I don't think they landed very well. You're not supposed to jump from that high. So
you don't remember me doing it? You just remember those two doing it?
Well, they hurt themselves. I think I remember all that.
What'd you do? Pencil dive? How'd you survive?
Yeah, you keep your shoes on and you pencil dive.
What? Why your shoes?
Shoes
so your feet,
on?
Because you're 60 feet.
Because your feet don't slap.
I think I remember you, Josh. Did you go first?
I went first.
Okay, I remember that.
As I was coming up, Drew slapped into the water. And he said seeing me go made him be like, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it.
That. Yeah.
And then Eric just hung out up there for 45 minutes.
Oh my God,
staring.
I remember that now.
And we all were just waiting, and every 5 or 10 minutes he'd be like, You got it, bro. You can do it.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he did do it. But
wow.
it was insane.
That's scary.
I don't regret doing it, but if I hadn't done it, I wouldn't regret that either. Pappy, Mikey, did you guys ever get out to the quarries at all? You don't know what we're talking about?
I didn't. I've been there. I just never jumped in.
Me neither.
I jumped in, but I don't think from the highest one. Was there a lower one you could jump from?
Yeah, it was a 15-foot one. There's a big area. It takes forever to walk out there. That's the only thing I hated.
Yeah, I think I only went once.
That's why I only went once. Yeah, I went once because of that. I can definitely see having a really nice, fun party area, for people, but nah. Once was enough. I'm glad I got to see it. It was beautiful, but nah.
Nothing goes better than alcohol, partying, and jumping
rocks.
off.
We weren't on
Yeah.
alky. We were just on straight adrenaline.
We weren't
at that point.
I'm just saying, I could see that being a fun thing.
How deep do you think the water was?
Deep enough to party, Mikey.
It's pretty deep. I gotta think it's. Let me look that up.
It was kind of scary because there were rumors that there were cars down there.
Oh yeah.
And maybe other dead bodies. They said.
Oh yeah, the dead bodies.
Oh, definitely dead bodies.
That water has to be full of bad shit. So
it's a quarry water.
Bacteria.
Yeah, that's not great. But my own personal experience isn't the only reason I wanted to dwell on this quarry scene. One of the best parts of the movie happens here because little Hogarth jumps in, and it's a real cute dive, and he's underwater for a while, but he finally comes up, and Iron Giant watches him, and he's like, that looks fun, I'll do it. He jumps in, and it evacuates half of the water out of it, and it's a little cartoony because there's a huge tidal wave in the local forest, but there's this shot of Dean specifically getting sent in his lawn chair and just flipping and then landing in the middle of the road. And I love that shot. It's such a fun thing to look at. The way he just is kind of chilling while flipping, if that makes sense. So entertaining. I love thinking of Dean, I don't know, any of these cool guys who's he supposed to be modeled after? Who'd you say? Dean?
I don't know, James Dean or something.
Yeah,
the
James Dean, or even Harry Connick Jr. Just being super chill and being well, I'm in a wave, and so you gotta ride it. Yeah. And he never says that or anything, but that's just the vibe you get. So cool.
Dang, they closed down. You can't go to the quarries anymore.
What?
It was always closed, Brett. People get there.
No, but I'm saying they filled it in. It says a couple years ago, because of injuries, neighbor complaints, and feared liability, the rooftop quarry was 2/3 of the way filled in by the rock quarry company that owns the land.
Fucking hell. Bro.
There's pictures of it. It's beautiful.
Just like the places we used to live there.
Crazy.
Knocked down and filled in by something better.
That's basically what it said. Yeah, good call. It basically said they expanded buildings and stuff, so they were just kind of running out of room anyway. And plus, you were never really supposed to be there. It was private property. So, but,
Oh, wow, was it?
I believe that's what it said. I'll send this article. Sad.
Sounds like a government cover-up to me. Probably Iron Giant jumped in there and filled it in.
Duck and cover, the bombs are coming down. A radiation shower will pour throughout your town. Hands over your head, keep low to the ground. Time to duck and cover, the bombs are coming down.
Speaking of government cover-up, though, Josh, Kent Mansley, Harry Connick, or not Harry Connick Jr.
Christopher
Harry
McDonald.
Connick Jr. is cool. Yeah. Shooter McGavin. We haven't talked about him. I say he looks like Conan O'Brien. You don't think so? What about him, though? Tell us a little bit about his character. What's he after?
Super recognizable voice. But he's not like a Scarlett Johansson or a Brad Pitt. So you probably looked him up if you were like watching this movie recently. Like, who is this voice? I can't get him out of my head. But it's Shooter McGavin. And I gotta say, he's like, his character starts off, I feel like he's more of a helpful person. And throughout the movie, he kind of goes insane and downhill. Like, I think what's cool about his character, I guess is what I'm saying, is that there's some sort of good in him at some point that fades, which is kind of interesting. But his character he's part of like the police military sort of situation. He's like put on assignment to these weird sort of like they get a call about a weird giant or maybe about a UFO or a Bigfoot, and he's the guy sent out there to like kind of calm people down and like write it off.
He was at Roswell.
He's at Roswell for sure. That was only like 12 years earlier from this. But at first he's like dismissive of this case, right, Pap? And then all of a sudden he sees something. I can't remember what it is, but he's like, all of a sudden,
his
a
car
true
gets
believer.
chewed.
Yes.
His car gets chunked.
Because the Iron Giant eats metal, and so he's just going around biting people's cars and tractors. And
so maybe that's what's kind of like why he's an empathetic character, is because like he's a true believer in the Iron Giant, where his superiors aren't even believing him, and so you're kind of on his side. I don't want to get too far into the end, but he has like some truly dark turns later.
Yeah. He does some like treason, some would say. Maybe ending the world, like in a nuclear winter.
It's treason, then.
To me, this is like such the most clear, like, mom's new boyfriend character in one scene in particular with him. When he has this like montage of nicknames for Hogarth, where he's like, hey, champ, hey, sport, hey, buddy. And it's just like all of these things that like a mom's boyfriend would call like the son. You know what I mean? Like just like too chummy and annoying.
Hey, mind if I ask you a few questions there, buckaroo? Now, why would you tell your mom about a giant robot, Slugger? Say, what'd you see at the power station? Hot Tiger? Did you tell anyone else about this, buddy? Hey, how big is this thing, Ranger? Been in the forest lately, Scout? Hey, where you going? Champ? Slugger? Hey, cowboy? Where you going? Where you going?
I'm going out!
Well, why don't you take Mr. Mansley with you? Show him the sights.
Oh, Mom, the sights!
Hey, I'd love that. Give us a chance to get acquainted. Swap some stories, huh, Chief?
I hear you, Pappy, but why do you think they gate it behind this idea of like, oh, we have a room to rent, and he's just a detective trying to get to the bottom of the case? Like, why don't they just fully come out and say, like...
I don't know. It's like definitely just right there below the surface.
So
like,
he's sleeping with the mom?
Yeah, the room for rent thing feels added and not real. Maybe it's just too creepy to have him sleeping with the mom.
Is there something with memory here? Like, this is like really high perspective, but maybe the Iron Giant is something kind of made up in the kid's brain, just like this guy being an FBI agent, just like these guys staying over is because his mom is renting out a room. Like, I don't think that's what the movie is doing, but is there room for an interpretation like that?
Kinda, especially with like this movie being or this movie taking place the year Brad Bird was born. Like that's got to be intentional. Like all of the stuff with like the comic books feels very like nostalgic, right? Like Mikey, he just take us through like this is a pretty big plot point. I think it's interesting that like Brad Bird also goes on to make The Incredibles. Right, but what does the Iron Giant learn from comic books?
Well, he learns that there is good and evil. He learns that he himself is a weapon, even if he doesn't want to be. It's kind of just reactive inside of him. He also learns that things can die. He learns of a soul. Things that have souls, according to Hogarth, can't die. And it's all kind of new concepts to him because I guess where he's from, that wasn't programmed into him or wasn't instilled in his beliefs or anything. So he's learning all of this stuff and kind of coming to terms with some things aren't permanent. Life isn't permanent and stuff like that. He has a lot of really touching moments where he's just kind of like, huh. And it's like a really somber kind of idea that he's like processing. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting because like all you see is like the expression in his eyes.
Brett, do you think the Pope would agree that giant iron robots from outer space have souls? What do you believe?
Ooh, I don't want to speak for the Pope, especially since I can't speak Spanish. I don't know, man. He could be given. I'm sure he could be given a soul since he's so good. But he also is pretty much immortal, so doesn't really need one.
Pap, do you think that like he doesn't know the concept of death? Is that something that he forgot in his amnesia, or that's like a situation where his old planet, like we just don't die anymore? We're all a living consciousness inside of immortal robots that eat metal.
I think the latter. Like I think he got like activated when he got to Earth versus like having forgotten things, and like he doesn't even fully understand his own nature, right? Like maybe there was some kind of factory reset where he got deprogrammed from what he was going to be, but I don't know. I feel like he's just kind of like learning about Bambi on the fly, like everyone else.
When he crashed down, that little button on the back of his router also got held down for 60 seconds. And
Yeah.
he was just...
It was like my monitor before the pod. You just had to get plugged in, and all of a sudden it worked.
Turn him back off and on again.
But Josh, I don't know. Do you think the soul and death stuff is too dark? Like, did you watch this movie with your family? Because it seems like something that Disney would not do, and it seems like this is like Brad Bird, like actively trying to distinguish a brand of like WB animation, where it's like, you know what, we'll talk about souls and death and nuclear holocaust.
I would watch this with my family, but this is Warner Brothers. This is Warner Brothers.
This is fucking Warner Brothers.
This is fucking Warner Brothers.
They're just...
We have to draw the mom way hotter. She needs to be way hotter.
That is a big part of his brand, isn't it? Wow. Hot moms. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
My one note on this subject, Pappy, in truth, was just like his definition of a soul is so pure. Hogarth at one point has basically a thesis statement that he tells the Iron Giant, and it's like, hey, you think, you feel, you sleep, and it seems like you experience reality, so I think you might have a soul, bro. I don't know. It's simple. It's simple, but it kind of like rings true. And he adds to it that like a soul lives on forever as well. And I don't know, getting into a little bit of theology there, but it's tender and I think pretty good in this movie, Pat.
I know you feel bad about the deer, but it's not your fault. Things die. It's part of life. It's bad to kill, but it's not bad to die.
You die?
Well, yes, someday. I don't know. You're made of metal, but you have feelings. And you think about things, and that means you have a soul. And souls don't die.
Soul?
Mom says it's something inside of all good things, and that it goes on forever and ever.
The Cold War shit is very prominent too, right? Like there's a whole movie within a movie about ducking and covering. And Kent's whole thing is like, we don't understand it, ergo we must kill it like right away. And you could almost look at this as like if this was a Russian weapon, like learning to befriend it, kind of like, I don't know. There's just a lot going on with this movie.
Bro, wait. Do you remember that big like balloon that was floating above the United States like 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's a hoax, right?
Yeah.
And we shot it down, apparently.
Dude, what if that was an Iron Giant?
That's what I'm saying. And it is from a different country, but it like defected. And a little kid is like its friend. But the U.S. is just like, but Biden is just like, nope, we got to nuke this thing out of the sky.
Mikey, you saw a UFO this morning. I feel like you should tell that story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know how to explain this. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting into work, and I work in Chicago at a news station in the city. I won't say which one, but I'm in the parking lot. It's kind of open. Like, I'm not around by any skyscrapers or anything like that. I'm a little outside of the city, so you can probably decipher where. But if you know, but I'm getting out of my car, and out of the corner of my eye, I see it enough that I end up seeing just a streak across the sky. It like looks like Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha across the fucking sky of just like pure white light. And I literally stood there for like 30 seconds afterwards being like, what the fuck was that thing? Just like looking at the sky still. And people are coming inside the gate, and I'm just like still in the middle of the parking lot looking at the sky. I couldn't explain it. If it was a actual comet or anything like that, it looked like it was lower than planes are flying, because
damn,
I live over by, I'm in the path of O'Hare, so I can see these planes taking off, and they're not like a mile above my house when they're flying above me. I'm directly underneath the path, but they're much closer than that, it feels like. And this thing looked like it was lower than the path of like those planes that I see take off from O'Hare. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was a super bright light in the middle of a pitch black sky.
But Pappy's been like afraid of these like drones in New Jersey.
Drones.
Are you like doing okay, Pappy? Are you coming to terms with this?
We got to nuke New Jersey, boys. There's no other option.
That's fine, actually.
It's our only way out. No, I don't know.
That's fine. Then we can get Puerto Rico to replace them.
I do think like this movie is making me. It made me think of all that cool shit. Honestly, it made me think of Mikey's UFO story that he told us about. It made me think of the New Jersey drones. Like, I really, really like that at the end of the day, this is like an alien thing that they're dealing with. Kent is closing in on this alien, by the way. He's basically threatened to call CPS, would you say? Like, it's getting pretty dark, Josh. Is this what you were talking about? The
I don't even think this is the darkest he goes.
He's like sits there watching Hogarth sleep.
That's
very creepy.
It is creepy. I think it goes slightly darker later, but he's like, yeah, I think I know where this robot is that we're looking for. I know you're in cahoots with it, so I'm going to watch you sleep so that the army can assassinate it in the morning. It's kind of like what we're getting set up for here.
Definitely gets darker. He doesn't care if the kid gets murdered later.
He nukes his own position later, Pappy. So it's like it keeps getting darker. But what got your goat the most here, Pappy? What got you the most freaked out?
No, I mean, definitely like the nuking shit. I was just trying to like move on in the story because it's pretty short. Like the montage is pretty short, and it's what are they doing? They're waiting for the army.
Waiting.
Brett, did you recognize the voice of the general? By the way,
John Mahoney,
who is
Mr. Crane.
Yes,
Martin Crane
from Frasier.
You'll be chief inspector of subway toilets by the time I'm finished with you. Now pack up. I'll expect you back in Washington to clear out your office. Yes, sir.
I liked his character. You want to tell us a little bit about him? Like he's very skeptical. Gets bamboozled.
Yeah, I mean he's skeptical also just because he just doesn't believe, obviously that's what skeptical is, but he also thinks this guy's an idiot, so... But, you know, he does go out on the limb. I think he says, how much did he say that cost them? $2 million to mobilize?
Of Uncle Sam's.
Yeah, so he goes there because, you know, the guy convinces him, Marv or whatever his name is, convinces him to go. Kent, sorry.
Marv.
Unfortunately, he is kind of a shoot first, instead of actually trying to communicate and to see if he is a threat. They just immediately see him and start blasting, even though he just saved two idiots' lives. Are they kids or adults?
Kids.
They're idiots, either way. He saves them, and then they start blasting him. So it's kind of like a typical monster movie, where the monster's good. I don't know, Harry and the Hendersons, or what's another good example?
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay. I meant good movies, like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they come friend, I don't know, something like that. But they end up getting shot or whatever. So he's the type of guy that if they would say, and they do say, you know, there's a kid out there, so he would stop his people. You know, he's not like
Good point.
Destroy at all costs. I mean, again, he's a shoot first, ask questions later type person, but he actually does stop them when the kid's out there. So he's got a heart. He's not just like you could have very easily made him a bad guy as well. And even at the end, I actually didn't notice this, but when I don't know, when the climax happens, everyone like cheers and he actually salutes. He's the only one that salutes the fallen hero. So that's pretty cool. Just kind of a quick flash to pan character, but he's got a pretty nice little arc in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And John Mahoney's got a great voice.
I love that scene where he yells at Pappy's Conan O'Brien character for lying to him.
Yeah.
When he yells at Shooter McGavin for saying, like, wait, the kid's still alive? Like, huge Schadenfreude moment where it was like, he lied to get ahead, and then the general realizes the lie when you thought that the general, like, would never find out about the lie, and even if he did, wouldn't care.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if I pronounced
Schadenfreude.
Yeah, that's more of a. I'm trying to fill in Stevie's shoes here. That's one of his favorite words. Actually,
Shooting McGavin, Freud.
I don't know if that exactly fits for what you're saying, but that's
probably not.
I mean, it's a good word. So that's you're taking pleasure in other people's pain, like a rival.
There's like a little thing that this movie does, and I mean, it's actually kind of obvious, but the whole first hour or so is set in deep fall. And I think we see a calendar at one point that says October, but it's like as this army general is like closing in, and as shit is getting like way more real with the Iron Giant, like all of a sudden it starts to snow, and by this like last 20-30 minutes or something, it's like full on winter, right? Which doesn't really make sense in the context of it was just fall like an hour ago in the movie, but it like, I don't know, it works symbolically, right? Because this whole last part is way fucking darker. Like you mentioned, Brett, the kids fall off the building, the Iron Giant saves them.
We're forgetting possibly the darkest scene where Kent Mansley what does he do? Chloroform?
Shit.
The
fucking kid.
Oh, yeah.
in the freaking barn, right? He locks him in?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that a different time?
Yeah, he waterboards him in the barn and chloroforms him.
He's like, is this light too bright? Good. Something's pretty funny. That was pretty dark. Did you like Mikey? I saw, Brett, you commented on the review Mikey did 6 years ago for the Iron Giant, and like Letterboxd like alert you if you also have a comment on it. But like the Iron Giant's final form, Mikey, pretty cool, right? Like, or his war form, I should say.
Oh yeah, final gun form.
Gun on a gun.
Yeah, it's really cool. He has like several different guns coming out of his arms. One that I thought was really cool was like he has this like spinning disc type thing, and he's got like two little spider leg things that will click on it or whatever, or rapidly press on this spinning disc thing, and it'll shoot off like lasers. I thought that was really cool and inventive for a gun. But yeah, I mean, he looks awesome. He's got all sorts of stuff. His eyes turn red. He's got laser vision and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see him kind of go berserk when he thinks Hogarth dies.
Hogarth would have died from that. Am I wrong?
From what?
Died from what? Yeah.
I mean, Hogarth should have died multiple times.
Getting shot out of the sky, hitting the ground with him, even if he's in his hand.
Oh.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's a cartoon.
It's soft.
He can hold him gently.
He's steel.
in his steel hands.
By the way, Josh, I think you could have been... Schadenfreude could actually work there. You take pleasure in Kent's pain, so I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to bust you out. I just been thinking about that, and I was like, I'm not an English major or a German major, so...
It's a Stevie thing. Let's let it be a mystery, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, if you drive your car off a cliff, it doesn't matter if you have, like, a airbag. Like, you're still going to die, right? If he's in this giant's hand, it's not going to make much difference.
Like, the force of... I mean, he's hitting the ground really hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a movie where there's a giant robot, so, I mean...
Well, I just wanted to say there's this, like, theme of retaliation or escalation or something. So it's like the Iron Giant won't throw a knife at you until you pull a knife on him. And yada, yada, yada. He won't nuke you until you, like, pull your nuke battleship on him. So I think that's, like, kind of an interesting theme that they at least get you to think about if they don't flesh it out the whole way. Like,
it's very Dr. Strangelove, right? Like, once you attack, I have to attack.
Very Cold War, I guess, like you were saying, but there's something a little bit more positive about him than the Cold War, because it's not until he, like, clocks you doing it that he's like, now I must do it, if that makes sense. But
yeah,
sorry, what were you asking?
Oh, just like the climax here. Just take us through it real quick. It's pretty emotional, right? Like, and I'll say this too: the U.S. Army was sparing no expense on this, like, speculative investigation of what amounted to, like, a rumor at that point. But they have battleships, they have fucking nuclear subs, they have tanks. Like, what happens here?
Yeah, on one hand, Hogarth and Dean called the big boys, and that's Jennifer Aniston's character popping in a Ford truck. So they got that going on for them. Like, that's their, like, knight in shining armor. So that's their backup. And then meanwhile, Shooter McGavin and company, they call the president, and they're like, we need to pull out all the stops, Mr. President. So they have presumably snipers on the tallest buildings. They got, like you said, battleships lying in wait in the bay. They have ground troops coming closer. They probably have, like
fighter jets.
They scramble fighter jets, yeah.
They have their 40 best men.
Agent Orange. Ready to just napalm the town.
They're just gassing people just to clear out the air.
The U.S. government has their 40, 50 best men on this assignment.
There might be a communist in this town. We gotta take it, level it all.
Yeah, and we're talking about escalating, and they've basically red alarmed the Iron Giant as a nuclear threat, so they're gonna take it down at all costs.
You stay. I go. No following.
Did you feel emotional when the giant dies? Because what basically happens, right, in the climax, the nuke goes up, and the Iron Giant says, what, Brett, like, I'll be right here, or something? What does he say?
No, that's E.T. He says, like,
right.
You stay, I go, I think.
Yep.
I'll be right here.
Don't follow.
Did anyone cry? Did anyone come close to crying? I feel like none of you guys are criers.
No, I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby.
Mm.
I'm joking. I did not cry.
There's no shame in crying at the Iron Giant.
Definitely not. But no, I didn't. No.
I probably did when I was younger. I mean, it is an emotionally impacting scene. And like his short time on Earth, his idol is Superman or whatever. And he's like heading towards this nuke saying, I am Superman. It's a pretty awesome scene.
Josh, how are you feeling emotionally?
It is emotional. It's cool. I think maybe they almost went like one layer too far. Like it could have been more emotional maybe if it wasn't like the townspeople also at risk of getting nuked. And it's more just about the kid or something. And maybe I'm just like nitpicking, but it's pretty cool. And one of the cool little details is the Iron Giant is prescient enough to like smack this nuke up right when it leaves the atmosphere of Earth. So it does
outer space.
Yeah. It does this like little turnaround jog. And the Iron Giant's like, this is my time to suicide it.
Pretty sad.
Saves all of Norman Rockwell's Maine town.
I feel like they had to, I don't know, the whole Kent deciding to level the own town that he's in is kind of like that mutually assured destruction.
But I don't think he knew any better. He was an idiot.
He is a moron. Yeah. He almost isn't aware of where the Iron Giant is when the general's telling him.
And there's a little moment where he figures out that he called the bomb on his own location and he's a coward and he flips out and he tries to run away. And that's like a good release for the movie because it makes everyone not respect him. But I feel like his character in the movie, it almost would have been stronger if he was like, yup, I'm prepared to pay that sacrifice or something. Like, I don't know. I could have gone both ways on that little point.
You wanted him to become a sympathetic figure at the end, or like come around? Or...
No, he's a lunatic. That he's like, yeah, fuck them all.
Yeah,
like,
I called the nuke here, and that's what's for the best, so I'm going to take it.
He's a snake.
That would have made him like more brave, too, so it would have made him more complicated, if that makes sense.
All right, we're deep in the pod, and I'll say this before I say like a bunch of stuff that I really like about the movie, but I do think that like Brad Bird got better as he went, and I think that like what he really does in The Incredibles, and even Ratatouille, definitely Ratatouille actually, the more I think about it, is like he focused more on character in his writing, where like you think about The Incredibles, like we know why, what's his name, Syndrome is a bad guy. Like we get that whole backstory. It's a huge part, like spawn memes, right? Like just from like, if everyone's super, like no one is. And then Ratatouille, like the whole climax of the movie is seeing like the critic's backstory as a child, right? And like fleshing out his character, is like one of the best scenes in any animated movie ever. In The Iron Giant...
Why does Spoiler Man like linguine? Tell me, Pep.
in The Iron Giant, Josh, everyone is kind of like one-dimensional, to your point, right? Like, Kent's just kind of a moron. Annie's just a nice mom. Dean is just a really cool, nice beatnik. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what Ken wants, right? Like, he's just a lunatic. And I think that's like something that's improved. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down at all? I'm not saying the movie's bad. I really like it, but I feel like after this, it's like a big distinction in his next two movies on like how he approaches characters.
Do you think nobody grew?
Does anybody change?
No, I'm kind of with you. I mean, Dean maybe a little bit. I mean, he lets more people into his life, I guess. But
there is that one great scene of Dean where, like, when Hogarth is like pitching the Iron Giant staring there, and he just pours out his coffee, turns around in his like dojo, Mojo Dojo thing that he's wearing, kimono, and like walks inside. And there's like a title card of 35 minutes later. Like it's very dry. That whole part.
Let's see. I mean, they don't they don't necessarily grow, but things get better. Like Hogarth, now it's kind of a fickle fame, but like kids like him now. I think it's because he's a hero, or like they show him playing at the end with the people that used to bully him. Dean bangs Hogarth's mom. They might even be married. I don't even know. I don't know. But I guess nobody grows.
I mean, he does seem happier now. The scene is now summertime, so which is different than we've seen the whole movie. And Mikey, just take us out here at the very end. There's a little bit of hope. More than a little bit of hope, actually. Hogarth gets the Iron Giant's butt plug delivered to him from the general.
Yeah, Dean hands him a package from the general, and it's one of the screws. It looked like the one that was like holding his jaw in place the last time it got destroyed. But it starts beeping and it starts moving on its own, trying to get out of the house, and Hogarth lets it out through the window. So, and then we see, what is it, like Iceland or something is what
the glacier
subtitle says? Is just a bunch of parts coming together towards Iron Giant's head.
Kind of takes away from the emotional end.
A nuke doesn't just send things flying thousands of kilometers away. It's like
a video game. You have to collect all the collectibles.
Josh, maybe because it's alien metal, but yeah, it would like liquefy it. I'm
Vaporize
sure.
it.
Did you guys know that the most expensive steel? I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but the most valuable steel on Earth is only that which is brought up from wreckage of lost ships on the ocean, because all other steel that's been on Earth or above water level has been tainted by nukes. There's like there's radioactivity in all steel except that which has been underwater. Weaker. So there's to Mikey's point, especially in like research areas and places where you might need like pure steel, they're pure steel. Got to get that stuff from an underwater wreck. It's crazy.
Why can't we just make new blue steel? Like, why can't we just make new? Would that be tainted?
No one's that good looking anymore.
Glorious Japanese steel.
Only one man can do blue steel, and he's like 65 now. So,
to your point, Brett,
he looks the same.
I don't think you could have a movie where the Iron Giant dies. That would be fucking wild, right? Like I think it makes it all the better that he's okay.
Yeah, it does, but it takes away a little bit from the emotional pull. I don't know.
Is he even going to be the same?
Eventually, I think.
Is he gonna have...
Now he's out for fucking blood, dude.
No,
it'll take him a while to get his butt plug back. But...
yeah.
If this is like a Christ-like reference, this robot's going to take 2,000-3,000 years to reconvene back into something. So don't get too much hope up.
Christ-like character?
Yeah,
the Iron Giant.
Because Christ is supposed to come back, right? Anytime.
I heard soon.
The Iron Giant dies, sacrifices himself, but he's out there putting himself back together, biding his time. Just going to take a while. No man knows the hour. That's what the Bible says. So
there's a lot more.
Like a thief in the night.
Religion in this than there would be in a Disney movie. Like, even just like the prayer scene. Do you remember the prayer scene, Brett? Like, where he's, it's pretty good.
The whole, I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, it's so weird to hear that. God, Satan, like, it's just crazy. Yeah, it was nuts.
But they don't realize that, like, yeah, they're praying like that, but the main thing you're thinking about is how the Iron Giant's hand is walking around the house like a dog or something at that moment in the movie.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It really is, yeah.
It's like Cousin It. No, the Thing.
Yeah, but like huge.
Thing. Yeah.
This thing could play a piano the size of like a football field.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mean like the Addams Family, the Thing?
Yes,
sorry,
jeez,
it's not-
Pat.
I wasn't
It's
picking up on
definitely-
that. I thought you meant like the movie.
It's like when I
the
say
thing.
something,
like the.
I say something and like Brittany's like, "What?" I'm like, "Trust me, it's not worth talking about."
I get it now.
It's-
now.
yeah.
We're full on final thoughts. Let me go through my notes. You guys have anything we didn't talk about?
I have something completely unrelated to this movie, but about the pod. But I do not have to do it today.
Do it. Go for it.
Okay, so apologies to Jimmy the Cricket. But I feel really bad. I got a message from Podcast Spoilers on Instagram, January 6th, 11 months ago.
Uh-oh.
Sent by
What?
No. It was sent by Druid King. Druid King sent this really funny thing about Fort Wayne and Governor Harry Balls. And I just saw it like a month ago. And I was like, dude, yes. He's like a legend here. So I thought it was hilarious. This whole thing was awesome. I want to say that the family's a little hypocritical, saying that, oh, they shouldn't be ashamed of our grandpa or whatever. Yet they changed how their name was pronounced. So get out of here, Balls family. But anyway, Druid King.
Bowles?
I'm really sorry.
How they changed the last name?
It's pronounced, no, they
Harry
pronounce it like
Bowles.
Bales now or something. Like,
No
so
one's
they don't get
falling
to
for
talk
that.
about people. But yeah, sorry, I know only a few people know what I'm talking about, but Druid King, I apologize. That was hilarious. I'm really glad you sent that to me. And I think that was probably Josh or Pappy. I apologize. I didn't mean to ignore that. I just missed it. So
That's a good.
thank you,
That's a good final
all the
thought.
Patreons.
Yeah, thank you all the
They should have
Patreons.
named it Harry Balls. I mean, he's a freaking legend. He's a Fort Wayne absolute legend. So
Love it.
A couple. Iron Giant's eyes look cool when he sees the bus and they
So
turn
cool.
yellow. But they look cool all the time too, even when he goes into war mode.
When he gets super stoned,
Yeah.
rips
Pat,
rips the vape.
Another Christ-like reference here. I'm watching the end of the movie. When he explodes, it's kind of like a Star of Bethlehem in the sky after that nuke goes off. Yeah, they're all kind of like looking up at the sky, and it's like the classic cross that you would see in like old paintings or whatever of a star, a super bright shiny star, kind of like a cross.
yeah,
Very
exactly
interesting.
what you're talking about. Nice.
Yeah.
Pick up on those.
There's a lot going on in this movie. And my last final thought was at what point Ken says biggest thing in this town is the homecoming queen. And I thought that is a joke that would not be in a Disney movie. But
Wow, my final thought segues perfectly off that, Pappy. Because,
Go ahead.
wow, that is actually insane. Because Shooter McGavin is saying that, right?
Mhm.
Christopher McDonald. He's like, the way it plays out in Iron Giant he's like, oh, a big old giant, huh? Biggest thing here is the homecoming queen. Oh my god! Because he like sees something crazy and huge behind him. And that almost directly mirrors the line in Happy Gilmore where someone from behind Shooter McGavin says, are you going to make the green in one shot, Shooter? Because Happy did that no more than an hour ago. And Shooter McGavin goes, well, good for Happy Gilmore. Oh my God. And that's
Mr. Larson. He goes, trying to reach the green from here, Shooter? That's impossible. I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago. Well, moron, good for Happy Gil. Oh my gosh.
So do you see Homecoming Queen?
Shooter,
Oh my
you got your
God. Happy
nine-eye.
Gilmore. Like, it's a very, like,
Dude, I did not pick up on that.
That's
Nice.
That's really funny.
Because it's Jaws from 007 that plays him. So he's like
Moonraker.
8 feet tall. So it's kind of like the Iron Giant. Just this giant Iron Man.
Oh wow, that's funny. Yeah.
Enormous beast, yeah. Biggest thing in this town is probably the homecoming queen. Oh my God!
Trying to reach the green from here, Shooter?
That's not possible, sir.
I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Well, moron, good for Happy Gilmore. Oh my God!
it's tough to top that final thought. So let's get into yes or no's. I'll go first. First of all, as always, Brett said thank you to all the patrons. A special thank you to Jimmy the Cricket. The fact that you made your Patreon name a pun off this podcast is amazing. That's so funny.
So good.
And if you ever if you ever support any other creators, please keep that name and don't give them any context because that would be so.
And if
so
you're ever
funny.
coming through Northern Indiana, hit us up. I'll get a beer for you.
And most importantly, Jimmy, let us know your opening question. If you're hearing this, we'll put it on an episode. I'll tell you which one it's on when we do it. But great pick. We actually did a poll on the Patreon page to assign this, and the Iron Giant won. And I think it's because it's a Wikipedia described it as a cult classic. I think it's just a animated classic at this point. I think it's like really well regarded and well known from, especially like my time growing up. Like I said, it was on Cartoon Network all the time. We barely mentioned Vin Diesel in here. Another like very like
rock,
right?
Tree,
Groot, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Family.
That type of part.
Gun bad.
There's a lot in here, and there's a lot to like digest, and like I said, like I don't think it's like fully committed to necessarily even any of the things that we talked about. Like it's not like a Cold War movie, and it's not a movie about like single parent, and it's not exactly like E.T., but it kind of is. But it's got like a lot of different themes in it, and it is like very different than Disney. And I'm so glad it wasn't a musical. I think it's like distinct and interesting, and like part of Brad Bird's like all-time run of like 3 classic animated movies. Goes down pretty easy, 80 minutes. I really like the emotional weight at the end, and I'm so glad the Iron Giant didn't die. And the last thing I'll say is the coffee scene of when Hogarth drinks like espresso and like trips out, is like tweaking, and you can fly. Like I those were in like a preview or a trailer. I've seen those specific scenes like 20,000 times. So yeah, I love this movie. Hard yes.
You can fly? You can fly!
Yeah, I thought, first of all, the Should We Duck and Cover or whatever, I thought that was a funny 50s theme joke when the bomb was coming. But yeah, this is a yes. I mean, like, it's not like my all-time favorite thing, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't even really like the gun stuff. Wasn't like in your face, so it didn't bother me at all. I get where it's coming from, and it came from a good place. So I just liked it all. I mean, it was good. I thought the animation was really cool. I thought he looked amazing. Like, his face actually looked kind of both menacing and like friendly. So, and the eyes I thought were like super, super cool. It's such super weird for me that it seemed like such a small role for Jennifer Aniston when she was like the most famous person on the planet, like at 99. But people just probably just wanted to be a part of it. So, a solid yes. This would definitely be a movie that I'd want to show my kids, kids, whatever. So, hard yes. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. It's definitely a classic. Pat, I think they consider those cult classics when they do like bomb at the box office, but like get a huge following from like videos and stuff. So that's probably why they use that term. So solid yes for me. I know I said hard yes twice, but I'm a solid yes.
Yeah. It's a shame that it didn't do better numbers. You almost wonder like what kind of trajectory WB animation would have had if Brad Bird became like the John Lasseter for Pixar of them and just like ran their whole animation, because he's like just so insanely talented. And Josh, I thought this was interesting too, real quick before you go, that like when they were storyboarding it was like a breakthrough film, and I think that they were using After Effects. Like they were like the first ones to do that for like storyboarding their movie, like Adobe After Effects, and Brad Bird just like bought it from a software store, like a Best Buy or whatever. And that's how they were able to get like buy-in to like get better funding and promotion for the movie, and probably how they got like Jennifer Aniston. Like it increased the budget a lot because it got like buy-in from executives because they were like the first movie to use After Effects in their storyboarding. So I thought that was interesting. But Josh, go ahead.
Well, you used to be able to buy After Effects and just buy it as a program. Now you have to pay a monthly subscription fee.
Isn't that fun?
Devastating.
Or nothing. Yeah.
And you'll be happy. Okay.
You'll be happy about it.
Hard yes for me. A short but heavy-hitting animated film. And I don't know. We've talked a lot about this. You guys gave great yes or no's. Huge yeses all around. I'm no exception to that. The one thing I have to add is that my grandpa Long passed away recently. And that was terrible, obviously. But he was an old country boy. So he had like all these guns. So me and the relatives all kind of were able to inherit one of them. So as a liberal gun owner, I say that in a weird way, like, hey, I may have a gun, but I'm not a gun, okay? And I am who I choose to be, and I can be Superman.
I'm just the trigger.
No, I'm not a trigger.
Just the finger pulling the trigger.
Which one did you get?
Let's talk later. You're not supposed to talk about that stuff. Great movie. I had never seen this from beginning to end before, but just had seen it through osmosis. Had to been through. What did you say? The Cartoon Network played it all the time? Like, that brought huge memories when you said that. But seeing it here all cohesively, even as an adult, still solid yes. Great movie, Pep.
Great movie, Jimmy the Cricket. Yeah, if it wasn't for Cartoon Network, I never would have saw Balto or the Iron Giant. And I watched those many times because of the Cartoon Network. Last but not least, Money Mikey Tor.
Yeah, thanks, Jimmy the Cricket, for your awesome movie pick. If you ever listen to this, send us that question. This is a super hard yes. I really like the animation style, how it still looks like it's hand-drawn. Animated movies just don't look like this anymore. The character design is really cool. The clothes and stuff that everybody's wearing, fitting the time period. Just feeling like a real 50s nostalgia sort of animation style for this, and it really works. The design of the Iron Giant is awesome. His voice is awesome. Good job, Vin Diesel. One of your best acting roles. I agree with Brett that Jennifer Aniston isn't in the movie enough. Seems weird that she's in it for like 5 minutes. But yeah, I think it's got a great cast. It's really funny. I think Hogarth is one of the funniest kid characters, animated kid characters, for sure. I mean, I was cracking up at him the whole movie. It's just got a lot of heart to it, and it's really cool looking. It's got really high emotional scenes that are really impactful, and yeah, it's not even sad in the end when you learn that the Iron Giant's not dead. So it's a really awesome movie. I'd recommend this to any kid. I'm sure they'd find it pretty entertaining. It's a really solid yes. Great movie.
Pappy, can I just add that, like, the way the Iron Giant at the very end of the movie is coming back together is a lot like the whole Dr. Manhattan thing from Watchmen. Like, he gets nuclear exploded, basically. All his parts are sent to the ends of the universe, and they're like slowly kind of coming back. Right? That's how I take it.
Emma, could I just add, we forgot to mention Dean at one point in the restaurant says, "I'm sorry I have to do this," and unzips his fly, and a squirrel jumps out, which is, I think that joke works for all ages.
We also see our main character, Hogarth, on the bathroom toilet. Kind of see a little bit of
On
a
the
little bit of
toilet.
butt cheek.
That so caught me off guard, and I just remember thinking, man, that's brilliant that he would do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was crazy that you see that.
Yeah, toilet paper everywhere from that thing hand that was just unrolling it like a cat in the bathroom. But yeah, great pick, Jimmy the Cricket. That's preserved. I don't know, maybe a piece of like cherry pie from a diner. What's your go-to order, Josh, in a diner? What do you like to get?
You got to get a smash burger from a diner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys all burger guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Burger, fries, and a shake.
Fries.
Hard to beat.
What do you get in a melt?
Maybe like a melt. Maybe like what's it called when it's a
Can I get some
burger?
fries?
But it's like a patty melt type thing.
Patty melt, yeah, or burger melt, yeah.
Oh,
somebody,
patty
yeah.
melt.
Doesn't really matter as long as the fries are good.
Pappy melt.
Yeah, fries and a milkshake. But Jimmy the Cricket, the episode's not quite done yet. We have a very, very quick trivia. This is to toss it to Spoiler Man and give a hot take. I feel like there's lots of crazy shit happening in the world that someone could comment on right now. Who knows what they'll comment on? We'll go Eastus to Weesus.
Can I get some staying alive going on so I could
yes.
do my death?
Sorry, Brett's Death Corner, of course.
A lot of deaths in this one.
Let's go.
I don't have it.
A lot of old people.
Oh, no.
We can put it in
I
post.
don't have
It's
it.
fine.
Sorry.
We'll put it in post. It's playing. Can hear it in my heart.
Okay, yeah. So I don't always remember to do this, but some of the people I was watching I knew were dead. So, okay, so first off,
I just knew it.
these are all sad, by the way. I'm not making light of any,
This is us building them a statue, like in the Iron Giant at the end. This is us honoring them.
A guy who plays two characters in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and he's not in the movie again. His name's James Gammon. And Brian, my brother, I know you're listening. James Gammon plays coach. He's Lou Brown in Major League, who's like one of the best, funniest characters of all time. He's the manager. He's like, smokes 4 packs a day type voice. He died of cancer at 70.
Jeez.
Cloris Leachman. What?
Dark.
Too soon?
No, keep going. Rest in peace. Rest in power, bud.
It's bad. It's bad timing. I understand. I'm sorry. Cloris Leachman.
I like her a lot.
It's super weird because she's got one line, but maybe this is
She's
before
the
her
teacher.
career resurgence.
Yeah, she's like the teacher in the classroom, the duck and cover one.
I won't say how anybody died. John Mahoney, who was brought up.
Unless it's like violent or interesting, you should say it.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that one. Cloris Leachman was COVID, so, but she was 94. John Mahoney, 77. Emmett Walsh, who has been in a billion movies. If you don't know the name, look him up. You know exactly who he is. Anybody remember any of the movies he's in? You guys know Emmett Walsh,
I
right?
have no idea who you're talking about.
He plays Earl. Crap. He's in Blade Runner, The Jerk. He's a really old guy. He's always really old. I don't know.
Oh,
Righteous
is he in Blade Runner?
Gemstones.
I recognize his face.
Yeah. He is a funny... but anyway, he just died this year at 88. So Pappy mentioned him earlier. He could probably talk a little more about him, but Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas, not the baseball player. They were both, what are they, 8 old men or 9 old men?
Yeah, 2 of them. Yep.
Since those were like 2 of the director's heroes, I think he got him in there. Jack Angel, who done a lot of voice work. If you look, he's in like Balto and movies like that. And then this one, I saw this name and I knew right away. Mary Kay Bergman, who was, she did all the female voices on the first couple seasons of South Park. But what people didn't know is that she had a lot of mental health issues, and she actually killed herself at 38 back in 99.
Oh, what characters did she play?
With a gun. That was really sad. She was really
what
talented.
Characters did she play?
It just says additional voices.
I remember her, but...
Oh, but yeah, she was like Wendy Testaberger, the
Mrs.
moms.
Cartman?
And
Is that her?
No.
yeah, I think she did like almost all of the female characters in the first couple seasons.
Sharon
Like if
Marsh,
you go back and listen.
Wendy, the clitoris from the clitoris
Yeah,
episode. Stan finds the
yeah.
clitoris.
God.
But yeah, I think she did some Disney princess too at some point. But Yeah, she just like struggled behind the scenes, and yeah. So that's the last one. Those are all the main characters. But yeah, Cartman, yeah, the mayor. She did like literally all the women. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Rest in peace to all those people.
It's a good cast. It's a good Death Corner.
Very, very good cast.
Yeah. But let's put this episode down. Let's kill this episode with a little bit of trivia. Like I said earlier, East to West, just a quick closest to. Got this from suggested by my girlfriend as a category. It's I don't really have a name for it. Robot parts, robot Legos. I don't know. I looked up the price of 3 different Lego kits. It's just one closest to. What is the total price of these 3 different Lego kits according to like the first result I saw? Like I tried to go with the Lego store, but at least one of these was not available in the Lego store, and I think it was eBay. But to buy your niece, nephew, or child just 3 Lego sets, all they want for Christmas is an R2-D2, an Optimus Prime, and a Hulk Buster Lego set. Speaking of Snap, what would be the total cost of those 3 Lego set Christmas presents? Brett, you will go first.
I was hoping to hear the guy who had 3 grown, more older kids, like older kids. I have no idea. I don't think those are cheap. But I'm gonna go low. I'll say 240.
Okay. Mike or Josh, sorry.
What a great guess. Can you say the characters again? Just really quick.
R2-D2, Optimus Prime,
okay,
and Hulkbuster. All
super like crazy OPs.
Hulkbuster in Marvel Snap emerges onto an existing card you already have on that lane and adds +3 to it. So an on reveal card. Kind of an interesting card, a little bit unique. But anyway, Snap.
Yep, it's good.
You know what? I love Brett's guess. Like $80 a piece sounds ridiculous and right.
That's exactly what I was going for.
I will just add like a $15 premium on all of them for being part of a major franchise. So, what was your total guess? 240. So I will add 45 onto that. So 285.
285. Mikey.
I'm gonna say 350.
350. Okay. So,
I think they jacked up the price of plastic recently at Lego.
Well, they have to get it from the bottom of the ocean because all plastic has.
Are these tariffed?
Are these
tariffed items?
Radiation in it.
Yeah, we got to know that. Are they made in the U.S. of A. Or are they coming from China?
Bidenomics or tariffed?
I don't know if Legos are made in USA.
Aren't they made in Sweden or
I
something?
thought they were like Norwegian. Isn't that
I think so.
where it's from? But these are the prices as of today, December something, 2024, when we recorded this. Long time ago. The Optimus Prime Lego set goes for a cool $179.99.
I had a feeling they were going to be so expensive.
The R2-D2 Lego set. These are all Lego store prices, by the way.
$350.
$239.99.
Oh my good lord.
Jeez. Good job, Mikey.
And to get your child the Hulkbuster Lego set, it's only 360 degrees of dollars.
Oh my gosh.
Bringing us to basically $780 for those 3 robot Lego sets. But Mikey, I have a hard time keeping track. That feels like a back-to-back, though. You're on fire. Go ahead. Take us out. Pick a spoiler, man. Say anything you want to say. Hot take. The floor is yours.
I'm truly on an incredible run of spoilers.
Not picking movies,
here.
but
that
giving
mean
hot takes.
absolutely nothing because they're not the movie trivia game. Just if you're a Patreon and you're at level a real human being, give us some movie suggestion.
Yeah.
Or send us some questions to ask for the beginning of the show or anything like that. Let's get more engagement on Patreon. That'd be fun to see you guys interact more, ask more questions, stuff like that. So, yeah, just hot take. You guys need to respond to us more often. Talk to us more often because we're not going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not that kind of podcast. You guys talk to us and give us suggestions. But yeah, it's just
We'll do them.
a lot of fun hearing you guys give movies and stuff. It's great choosing awesome movies that you guys pick for us. So it's a lot of fun.
Bada boom, bada bang.
And that was spoilers.
Special thank you to our patrons: Jimmy the Cricket,
Stay.
Matt Troll, Brother Brian,
All right, who's out there?
Druid King,
Call me Dean.
Nick,
You got a problem with arts and crafts?
the Meg,
Come on in. It's really, really refreshing.
Nurse Stacy,
We like Dean.
the Wolf,
There's some cold chicken in the icebox.
Teddy Ruxpin,
I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Barky 420,
I seem to have left my keys in the lab.
PK,
You guys got here just in time.
Spencer,
Every once in a while, things happen that just can't be rationalized in a conventional way.
Gale,
People want to know that their government has a response.
Swole,
I am that response.
Cheese Zombie,
This is something much more serious.
Sebastian,
Thanks. I think I'm feeling better now.
Dr. Lars,
Much, much better.
Stone Cold Austin,
Hey, Dean! Watch this!
Nephew Quinn,
All right, we're watching.
This one's for professionals only.
Best Friend Drew,
Banzai!
Shatty Daddy, Optimus E,
Don't worry, kid. Look, it's not my style to report a guy to the authorities. I'm gonna have some coffee. What do you want? Some milk or what? Milk?
Coffee's fine. Yeah, I drink it. I'm hip.
I don't know. This is espresso, you know? It's like CoffeeZilla.
I said I'm hip.
the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Derbs. If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoiler Man, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast. Be sure to check out Corey's podcast, Big Dumb Movie. Our email is podcastspoilers@gmail.com. Twitter is @spoilers_pod. Our Instagram is podcast spoilers. It's lit. Josh Hensley from the Rutabaga wrote our theme song.
It's a lot of fun. It's
You
just
say
like
it's
a
called-
shooting game.
Did that just come out?
Yeah, like this week it came out. Marvel
Okay, so-
Rivals. It's free, so
Every
I have an Xbox.
every month they have like a new season where there's a new, like when Ant-Man came out, the month before they had Ant-Man, and Black Panther the month before the second one. The new card for this month, the card back, it says Rivals on it, and I had no idea what that was or what it meant. So they must be part of the same company that's releasing that. I'll have to check. That's on a phone or that's a video game?
You can play it on console, so like Xbox or PlayStation, and it's free.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I was wondering what that meant. I was like, Rivals, and it's like yellow and silver. That's cool. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's got cool character design and stuff. I mean, so does Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap's got really cool.
Dude, some of the
cars.
animation
I like
is
it.
really, really cool. Like, I've always thought this car probably wasn't around, but Galactus, it's got a really cool animation.
Game of the year yet, Mikey?
So
What?
Josh,
The Belatro win game of the year
Belatro?
yet? Yeah.
That game looks like shit.
No,
Dude, it's so fun. You're wrong.
I haven't even
Looks
looked it
like
up.
shit. Dude, it looks like Minesweeper.
It is.
Don't act like I'm not being true, Pat or Mikey. It looks like shit.
It's poker.
I know. It
Why
doesn't
don't
look
they
like
have better
Minesweeper.
looking cards? There's like 6 pixels.
Sorry, it's not Blackjack and Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's fun. It's fun for what it is. It's simple.
It's
Wish
not
you
even
would've played-
simple. It's like
Wish you
super
would have played
complicated.
Snap. Pat.
Is it too late? Do you guys
No.
play?
Me, Corey, Mikey, and my wife all play like. Well, when
Mikey.
Brittany and I play every day.
Not Mikey.
Not Mikey. Sorry, Corey.
Check. Me. You missed me.
Sorry, I said Corey twice. I was.
Problem.
Oh, you play Josh?
I just want to fight Josh.
You can now. I mean, you're going to be at a disadvantage because Josh is
check.
pretty good. Josh
Oh,
is
you
the
can
best.
like actually battle your friends now?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that was a thing that wasn't in the beginning. It's like
You
you're
guys
just
fight
playing
each other?
randos.
I haven't played Battle very much. Like, they have this newer thing where we're like in a team, and you get like these bounties to do. Like me, Josh, Corey, and Brittany.
Yeah, we could use more people getting bounties.
Yeah, I know, because we never even get close to the top.
Dude, add me.
Amount.
Fine. Fuck it. I don't care.
It's really easy. It's a really easy game to pick up.
I don't care. Fuck.
Pappy,
Fuck it.
especially in the first like 100 levels or so, you'll just be flying through it. Those are like some of the funnest times.
Snap.
Check. Why isn't it?
Snapchat, Instagram, Marvel Snap. There we
Marvel
go.
Snap.
Oh, God, I
Fuck
feel
with
bad
me,
about it.
Josh.
I feel dirty.
Why? It's not even associated. I don't think it's associated with like Disney.
Because I've made fun of you guys so much for it over the years. It looks kind of fun.
We forgive.
Pat,
Check.
do you play the new Pokemon game that's out?
Check.
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah, that one's like free on phones too. It's like that one is crazy popular too.
Josh,
But it's just like
What
the
up?
card game just on
you
your
have-
phone.
do you have Galacta?
That sounds
Yes.
pretty fun.
That's like that card's gonna get nerfed really quick because it's really powerful.
Wait. Is that like the girl Galactica? What does she do? I don't think I have her actually.
She each turn on one of the other locations, if you play a card, it gets plus three. So like if you brood it, it's just like massive. But each turn you can do that.
Dude, I want to do it with. I've never got a good. Is it Mr. Sinister or something? Like every time you target him with plus, he gets like an additional.
No, that's Sebastian Shaw. And
Yeah.
I have a deck that I've been roasting people with. But I've
What's
had
going
some
on
shit
right now?
with it.
I'm snapping. I'm assembling. Match
Are you
one.
in the
Oh
game?
my God.
Yeah, the sound effects are really cool, but I literally have those off because they're so loud.
I used to love listening to him though, and then I
Dude, I
learned them
can't.
all and turned them off.
I can't start my first match right now.
Huzzah!
Spider-Man.
You're in.
Oh, that should be another Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Alright, I got Spider-Man. What would he be like?
That was Spoilers.